with the times.
Good day, everyone. My name is Navneet Anand from Fiji Times, Be with the Times. Today, we have with us online Honorable Natalie Ward, the Ministry of Sports, Multiculturalism, as well as Veteran Affairs. Ms. Ward, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Navneet. It's wonderful to be with you. I really appreciate the opportunity. I wish we were meeting in person, but it's wonderful to be with you online.
I would be asking you, when did you really realize that you want to join politics?
That's a very good question. I was very young. I was very interested in policy, and when I was at school, I had my first job, and I was 14, and I saw my first pay slip, and there was a deduction on there. I went home to my parents and I asked them why there was this deduction and how it worked and how tax worked and how fees and things worked. And they said, you think maybe you should think about politics. And I was just interested in policy. Can I say, Navneet, I never wanted to be a politician. I never dreamed of being a politician. So I was very interested in policy. And so when I finished school and I went to university to study arts law, and when I was at university, I got involved there because I was very interested in policy. I was interested in business. Before
becoming the Minister for Multiculturalism, have you been involved with the ethnic communities at all?
Yes, I in a number of ways. My husband and he was very involved. He was the president of a local grassroots shoot shield rugby club, Manly Rugby, and there's a big community locally. Some of our best players are Fijian, Samoan, Tongan communities, and players from overseas. So we were very involved in that, and I saw how beautiful the communities are, not just fabulous at playing rugby, but also the beautiful support of those family networks and communities. I was also very involved in Friends of India through my political association, and very grateful to be involved with Friends of India, which has been just a wonderful experience. And I'm so upset that at the moment we haven't been able to celebrate so many of the normal, beautiful multicultural events that we would ordinarily be celebrating together. So I'm very much looking forward to that. The multicultural community embracing me as a new minister, but I'm really working very hard in this space and hoping to get out and meet everybody in person as soon as we possibly can. That's what I'm really very keen to do. But I bring with me that experience from the real world, and I hope that I can bring that to bear. But I'm always open to more learning and more education in this role.
Let me tell you one thing. When you have joined as a Minister of Multiculturalism, it has been the most difficult times of the year. In the first round of COVID, probably there was some delays by the government and as well providing the support to the multicultural society. But I really, really congratulate you and give a credit to coming out and supporting the ethnic media and giving them a pat on the back to move out and support whatever they can. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was incredibly important. It was not only the right thing to do, it was critical. We heard very early on. I asked for information from community leaders about what we should be doing. And the number one thing was engaging one-on-one and through the leadership, but also empowering multicultural media, because people want to hear messages in language. They want to hear through trusted channels. They don't, I get in trouble for saying this, but not everybody necessarily listens to the 11 o'clock press conference. People whose first language is not English really want to hear on their own radio channels, in print media, and through other avenues that are familiar to them and that they trust that information. So we very early got involved, and I went to the Treasurer and said, look, it's really important if we need to get these health messages out there, particularly with the new Delta strain, which is quite different to what we've dealt with before. It was really critical that we support and empower those multicultural media organisations who do such a wonderful job and are already out there, and we can channel those communications through them. And I just want to thank all of the multicultural media, including you, Navneet, because it's so important that you have been conveying those messages out there consistently, answering questions from your community, and as the information has changed rapidly, as we've had to have new messages and changes in the health orders, that information goes out quickly. And can I thank you and all of the multicultural media organisations who have been unbelievable, who have stepped up to get that information out there, but also that I've had the privilege of walking side by side in this journey together, so that we can wrap around our communities and make sure that they're getting that information in language and quickly through those channels, and we're getting out to every corner of our beautiful multicultural communities.
I wish to bring it to your notice that on this platform of Fiji Times, India Times Australia, and Voice aajKal, we would be covering Hindi, Punjabi, English, Gujarati, and Urdu, 5 different languages, to reaching most of the people and getting to know what are the needs and how they can be supported by different organizations. Moving on, many of the communities have noticed that there have been not enough of sporting fields, especially in the Western Sydney and all that. Is there any plan to tackle that sort of situation?
Yes, yeah, it's a great question. Thank you. It is true. It's been such a challenging time for all of our communities, and I know that it's been, particularly in our sporting communities, a difficult time because they haven't been able to open up their season. They were interrupted also last year in their seasons, and so that this has been quite a different approach this time with the second round of COVID compared to the first one, and so many of our communities have borne the cost of that. So we are working very hard to open up, particularly in Western Sydney. I know how patient everyone has been in following the health advice and following the public health orders. And so I've really been keen to ensure that we're getting out there and supporting them. We have made a significant investment in the development of new and upgraded sporting facilities in Greater Sydney over a number of years, and in particular in Western Sydney LGAs, we've spent more than $85.8 million allocated through grants programs and election commitments to those, particularly those LGAs of concern, but to get infrastructure out there so that they can play. So, for example, the Tarmore netball courts in Wallandilly Shire, the Nepean Hockey Clubhouse project, working closely with the Greater Sydney Commission and the Department of Planning so we can understand where there's that need for new sporting facilities or upgrades, and also working closely with councils who undertake those studies to plan for and invest in new and upgraded sporting facilities across the area. But I also recently have announced a new $200 million multi-sport community facility fund, which is we've given advice to many of the multicultural businesses who we know really and organisations, sporting organisations, community clubs and associations, to let them know that that is available and they can apply for that funding so that they can upgrade their facilities and we can get out and play once again as soon as possible.
We all are looking forward to that, the travel open, so that even we can travel overseas, or we can have the overseas visitors coming to the countries. When we speak to the especially hospitality industries and small businesses, there has been absolute big shortage of the workers there as well. So how do you think we're going to tackle it, especially during the Christmas times?
Yes, that's a great question, because we know that businesses have really done it tough, and now they're looking to reopen. We want to support them, but also we know that they need that labour there, and particularly that casual labour to support them. We started with the business packages because we want to make sure that businesses were able to get through this difficult time. So we implemented a range of support packages to help business, including the business grants program, the Job Saver program, and also we were the only state to implement micro business grants. So for tiny businesses, 1 to 75 employees, not everybody fits into the small business category. So we made sure that we prioritised also micro businesses. But we know that we're going to have a lot of people who are ready, willing and able to work. And we're encouraging business to get ready for that, which is why the Premier has been continually saying, get ready. And so we hope that there'll be great opportunities for all of those people out there looking to get back into their jobs, because we know people want to get back to work, they want to get back in their jobs, and businesses want to get back to business. And that's what we're about, encouraging that, supporting that. Of course, we always have health there to tell us how we have to do that in a measured way, because the last thing we want is to have to shut down again. We want to do this in a measured way so that we can get people back to work. And I can't wait to go out for dinner with friends and family, for us to be able to travel, and all of that, as you say, that requires people to carry out those jobs so we can get it done. So we're really working hard on that.
Before I wrap up, what's on your wish list for next 12 months?
Oh my goodness, it's a very long list, but I have to say, as I mentioned, I've been really saddened that I haven't been able to get together face to face with our multicultural community. So I'm really looking forward to celebrating so many of those events and celebrations and festivals, and our multi-faith communities as well. I'm really keen to get together and meet everyone in person to do that. Of course, I'm very keen for community sport to return, to be able to stand on the sidelines and watch our teams play in person and see everybody out there again, particularly for our kids, seeing them out playing again, especially my kids. I want to get them out of the house and get them back out playing again. And then, of course, opening the borders for travel and for tourism, to see families being reunited and friends being able to reunite, people to go overseas and travel, which I think is not that very far away, particularly if you live in New South Wales. I think we're really ahead of the curve and from the rest of Australia. And I think that our vaccination rates have been so good that we will be there really soon. And also welcoming, of course, our international students back. I'm really keen for that to happen. So my son is doing HSC this year, so I would really love for him to be able to go along to university, hopefully, if he gets in, and welcome international students as part of the cohort there.
Look, thank you so much, Minister. It has been very, very encouraging having a chat with you. With this sort of conversation, at least we get some of the confidence to be back in the game once again. जी हाँ, आज हमने की मिनिस्टर ऑफ मल्टीकल्चरल नेटली वार्ड से बातचीत, और मैं आपका नवनीत. Thank you so much, Minister, for your time today.
Thank you, Navneet. It's a great pleasure to see you, and I can't wait till we can meet in person.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.